Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. My name is Elliot, and I am going to share with you all my spoiler-free movie review for the 2018 version of Halloween. Now, this is a direct sequel to the 1978 Halloween, which is one of my favorite horror films of all time, and they're retconning all of the 2 and beyond. So this is, again, a direct sequel to the 1978 version. So this film was directed by David Gordon Green and brings back the legend, the Scream Queen herself, Jamie Lee Curtis. So with that, guys, again, I'm going to welcome all those that are new to Movie Files. If you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button and check out all of our content. More reviews on this channel. We got TV reviews, unboxing videos, and trailer reactions. So definitely, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And also, welcome back to all those people that are already subscribed to our channel. We always appreciate the support. So before I get into the review, I want to let you guys know this is a unbiased opinion, because with Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, I'm a fan. I look at Michael Myers in the same light I look at as I'm a basketball fan. I'm a huge sports fan, but in particular basketball. Favorite player growing up, Kobe Bryant. So inherently, I became a Lakers fan. So with that being said, throughout the 20 years of Kobe's career, there were some highs, 5 championships, and there were some lows. You know, he didn't have Phil Jackson at times or Shaquille O'Neal, and we didn't make the playoffs at times. But the constant throughout those 20 years that I was a fan of his, Kobe. He was the guy, and like I said, I became a Lakers fan. So in that same vein, Michael Myers, big fan. He's my most iconic favorite character in the horror genre, more so than Chucky, Freddy, Jason, Ghostface, Leatherface, Pennywise, all those great characters. But I've always just been fascinated by Michael Myers. I think he's just such a cool character. The Shape, more or less. I'm just such a fan. So with that being said, Michael's always been the superstar, but he hasn't been in the best films at all times. But at the same time, I'm always finding something to like about certain aspects of the film, even though they weren't great. So that's where I'm kind of at with Michael Myers. Again, I'm a huge fan, but with this review, guys, again, no spoilers. I'm just going to touch on my positives, my negatives, and then give you guys my honest score on this film. So with that, let's jump into the positives of this film. So again, David Gordon Green directed this film, and he brought along some writers, and particularly one of his close friends, Danny McBride, who I'm a big fan of. First and foremost, The Shape is back. The Boogeyman is back, aka Michael Myers. They brought him to the big screen in 2018, and he is the most brutal Michael Myers I've ever seen. I'm not even calling him Michael Myers, because that's what John Carpenter, if you've ever read the screenplay of the original 1978, he always referred to him as The Shape. So The Shape is back in this film, guys. This is the most brutal I've seen him. The kills are just ridiculous. I mean, he's pent up, guys. This has been 40 years in the making. He's been in this psych ward for 40 years, waiting for the day that he can break out. And not getting too much into the story, but as you guys know, if you see the trailers or read the synopsis, this is 40 years removed from 1978. He's been locked up. In the meanwhile, Laurie has been terrified in a sense, and she's just been preparing for this day that Michael Myers breaks out of where he's at. So all that kind of pursues. So with that, again, Michael Myers is just so great in this film. They really brought back the fear of Michael Myers, the way that they shot him, and it was just so well done. This is one of my favorite performances, per se, by Nick Castle. They brought the legend back, and they also had a newcomer kind of taking in more of the physical scenes that played Michael Myers. And I just thought that he was just the star of this film. In every right, again, this is his franchise, and I thought that this Michael Myers was great. Some other positives, going back to the director, David, he really did a good job. The technical aspect of shooting light, building tension, the score by John Carpenter, incorporating the score, mixing in some new things, mixed in with the old, that was beautiful. And then just kind of the storytelling element. The reason I love Halloween, the original, is just the simplicity of a serial killer, a guy filled with anger, not anger, but just pure evil and just killing at random. And that's really what the simple simplicity of that original story was. And they brought some of those elements, and there's a lot of nostalgia in this new one, paying homage to not just the original, but paying a little respect to the franchise as a whole. And I thought that Dave did a good job of doing so. Jumping into some other positives, Jamie Lee Curtis, again, the Scream Queen, the legend herself, she's better than ever. It was really interesting to see her play this particular version of Laurie, because we've seen this kind of story beat before in H2O. She was 20 years removed from the incident, and she kind of was a little bit more adaptable. She let people into her life. In that version, she had a son, she had a boyfriend, all that different stuff. But in this film, complete opposite. So it was very interesting to see Jamie Lee Curtis play essentially that same beat, but just add some new elements and kind of go in a different route. And I really enjoyed her performance. Again, I said Michael Myers was a standout, but right there was Laurie, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. She did a great job of portraying a woman that was a victim, but at the same time, didn't let that, it defined her in a sense, but at the same time, she wasn't fearful. She was prepared and ready to take on this pure evil shape in Michael Myers. So I thought her performance was great. And also throughout the cast, there was some really good, solid performances. Judy Greer was Laurie's daughter, and then she had a granddaughter. This is the first time I've seen her. I can't think of her name right now, but she was pretty solid. And then we get some other, characters throughout the film, and particularly this one young kid has this scene with his babysitter. I thought that was one of the better scenes, funny scenes, and also terrifying scenes. But those characters are pretty straight. So all in all, the performances are pretty solid. And just, my finishing up my positives, this is Halloween, guys. And I know what I'm getting into when I see a Halloween film. And it's really delivered on just a fun time at the theater. At the same time, being scared. I haven't been scared in a Halloween movie in a long time. And I thought that they accomplished that, or bringing in that tension and just not knowing where the shape is and not knowing what he's thinking. I mean, he is, like, guys, he is a brutal. If you haven't seen the film, for you guys that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. He is a brutal, unstoppable machine in this film. So, into my negatives, again, I talk about the simplicity of the story, but there were some moments where I thought they could have did some different things with the storyline, and particularly with some of the characters. A lot of the characters are kind of literally in and out of the film and really don't have a resolution to their kind of character arcs. They introduce these characters through all these slasher films. You have the characters that are just gonna, they're gonna die. As soon as they hit the screen, you know what's gonna happen to them. But you want to sometimes have those characters have moments, so when certain things happen to them, you kind of have a little bit more emotional connection to them. So there were some mishaps in regards to the simplicity of the story. It was predictable at times, and there's a particular, not getting into any details, but there is a particular plot twist that I thought was just, I get what they were doing, but it just wasn't, it didn't vibe with me well, and I won't get into the specifics of that, but there is a twist that didn't play out that well. And I could be more, I can criticize this film more as far as nitpicking things, but at the end of the day, guys, again, I'm a fan of the franchise, and again, I'm giving you my unbiased opinion of this, but all in all, I knew what I was getting into, and it delivered on the most part. Again, there were some character moments I wasn't a fan of, some story elements I wasn't a big fan of, and also the predictability of the story, but all in all, guys, my overall thoughts, this is a Michael Myers film. This is a worthy successor of the sequel, one of my favorite films, horror films of all time, the 1978 version. Laurie's great. The direction's great. The score is phenomenal. The kills are brutal as hell. And all in all, guys, I'm giving this film a 4 out of 5. I recommend it. This is the best time of the year to see this film. As I'm recording this, the number's already out. It made 77 mil. Opening weekend. If you guys follow us on Instagram, I predicted it making close to like 92, 93. I was shooting a little high, but all in all, it's the second biggest horror film opening of all time, second biggest October opening of all time, and so many other records, including, female leads, a female lead over 55, which is just great. So it crushed it at the box office. But more or less, guys, I recommend you guys checking out if you haven't already. And then for those that have seen it, let me know in the comments without giving away any spoilers if you enjoyed this film. Where is it ranked for you as far as the franchise? This is my second favorite film in the franchise. I really enjoyed Halloween, and I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of this franchise. And with that, also stick around to the end of the credits, guys. There's definitely something special for you there. So again, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, comment below on what you thought of the movie, as well as if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, and in doing so, watch those other videos. I just saw mid-90s, so I will have that review coming up pretty soon, but we do have a review for The Haunting of Hill House, which is on Netflix, and there's some other movie reviews you guys can check out. So thanks again for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.